morning, guys. Julia Jordan, your favorite real estate agent, here from my office. Haven't talked to you in a while from my office. I was always on the run and driving. So I thought I'd share with you. I'm on a morning call every day, a mastermind of hundreds of top, actually thousands, top agents in the country. And some of us share. I never share. This one I always listen because I walk my dogs and it's on a Zoom. It's recorded, so I watch the recording usually. And there's always so much to learn from. This morning I woke up thinking I want to have some joy today. I worked so hard. I want to reward myself. And then I was thinking, what would give me joy, right? Sometimes we think like going shopping or so will give you joy, but actually for me it is always people. I really love people. Some days I don't love people. Sometimes I'm just done peopling, but usually I do love people. So I thought, you know what? There's a meeting in my office today, and rarely I take the time to drive into the office and meet with my peeps there. And I always learn something, but it's also just nice being surrounded by other agents and learning and watching each other. And some are way better than I am, and some have a lot to learn from me, what I can share. So we are all a big community. We are 450 agents in the office, so it's a big group of us. So today there is a listing workshop, and I thought, you know what, it's literally 20 minutes. It's not like the other side of the world, but I work always here from my home office, so I often don't take the time to drive in. So this morning I woke up and I said, you know, I have things to do, but I can do them at other times. I just need some joy in my life, and I just want to kick back a little bit for some hours and just go there. I mean, that's for me pleasure. That's my kickback, right? I go to the office to a class. That's my learning time, but that's how I relax. And then on the morning call, they talked about the same thing. Is that not something? You think about a topic and then it comes to you from all direction. And they talked about a guy, he wrote a book. And he said, you will never be really successful in something if you don't find joy in it. It doesn't mean any second and any minute of it you're enjoying it. I had several difficult transactions recently and I had to involve my broker. But you know, it is so satisfying when you plow through and all of a sudden after a while you are successful and you almost did not trust in your own ability anymore to get things done for people because it's so complicated. And all of a sudden you have a breakthrough. That's like Atomic Habits, the book, right? You chip, 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 chip. And at one point, boom, the mountain slide comes down. And you almost didn't expect it anymore. So it's all about the habits. Have the right attitude, do the right thing every day, and you will see your success earlier or later. So my success this morning is I woke up to documents that I needed to move a client forward. It was two things we needed on that transaction, and it was a little bit delayed. It took a second, and patience is not my number one strength. So I was like, could we not get this done ASAP? But hey, it took overnight. Like, come on, still very fast. And it's very satisfying because that one was a listing. It was with a different agent before, and it was not listed properly. And when homes are not listed properly, they're not selling. We already have a difficult market. Yesterday, I had a call with a for sale by owner, a friend of a friend, and she said, I want to try to sell it by myself. And I said, you know what, you can do that. I mean, you're free to go. But it is already hard for agents to list a home and get it sold quickly for top dollar. Literally, it is not an easy market. I'm not joking. But we get it done. And I used this current listing as an example. Right now, I have one, it was 6+ months listed with another agent. I will not talk about the things that were done wrong because maybe we have shared friends or so. So I don't want to talk negatively about any other agents, but it was not listed in a way that it sold, obviously. Was sitting there. So I had the hard conversation with the potential client and I said, XYZ is what you need to do to move it. I'm sorry for being the person bringing the bad news. And the seller was like, you know what? Yes, ma'am, exactly what we are doing. We're doing exactly how you said it. So we did it, and guess what? Thanks God, it worked. It is not an easy market. It is not a magic wand that we're swinging. If it would not have have worked, we would have to pull other tricks out of the hat and do different things to move the listing. And the client and the agent need to work hand in hand. Super important for that is trust. If we don't have the client's trust, I'm an agent, I almost say, you know what, how about you find yourself an agent that you trust? Because for liability during the transaction and afterwards, I want to be part of a happy story. And if we are committed to misery, I do not want to be the agent on that. If I see my client is committed to being unsuccessful, I am not your agent. We need to work hand in hand, and I am on the same page like you. My kid said the other day, hey, you got the client 10K more? Is that not also you earning more, Mom? And I said, yes, I'm also earning more. But imagine, in this case, it was a 3% commission. Imagine the 3% compared to the 97%. So of course, for the seller, the impact is much, it's like a scissors opening. Yes, I also earn more, but it is minimal for me, but it is major for the seller. So not only in my own interest do I want to sell homes for top price. Of course, we're sitting in the same boat, but especially for my seller. And with that, I simply need the trust of my seller that is my motivation. And if that trust is not there, thanks God, I have enough transaction where I can say, you know what, I think I don't want to do that transaction. I want to be the hero for my client and save the day and make them a lot of money, but not the one that is questioned if I am motivated or if I know my stuff or if I do the right thing. So back to the happy stuff. So we listed this client last week. I always list on a Tuesday, then we go active on a Thursday if we can help it. And we have a whole weekend of showing. And in COVID times, we were executed 100%. These times it can be that we're not executed right away. So in this case, today is Tuesday, we will be executing today. That is still very fast for these times, okay? There are many listings out there, 3-4 months on the market. It doesn't get better by you being long on the market, in my personal opinion. So we had the listing on the market, we brought it back to life, and that one was the one where I had some fun with it. I went to Lowe's and I bought the doormats and the flowers because this client was frustrated with what she had experienced before, and I understand that real estate can be frustrating, and maybe you don't know, us agents also get very frustrated when things are not working or communication is choppy. I am the one, I get nightmares sometimes, or I wake up early in the morning with a bad thought, and sometimes I wake up in the morning with the solution for my client. So I personally digest it overnight, but also during the day. Sometimes I see like I have a bad mood with my kids, and I know it is because I have a difficult listing, a difficult transaction, and sometimes I have a difficult client, and that is so unsatisfying. So I totally understand when my clients are also frustrated. It's in the nature of the thing. You want to sell a very expensive item, and sometimes you don't get what you were thinking or hoping for, and some people even what they needed. We have a lot of people maxing out their credit cards, and they need a certain amount out of their property to pay off things or to move into their next step. But we can also not hold the property responsible. Just because you messed up and you need a certain amount of money does not mean your property is obligated to give you that back. There is often not the value in the property, especially if you have deferred maintenance. So with that client, I had some fun. She was frustrated about what happened before, so I was a little bit on the side. Okay, let me show how we can be very nice. So she got aerial pictures. She got the luxury pictures. Usually I do that on a different price point, but luxury pictures, and sometimes those clients don't even know what we are doing. So I got the doormat, two. I layered them to be extra pretty. I bought flowers, so the entrance is coming back to life. The property has been vacant for a while, and sometimes you can feel it when you come in. I cleaned up. It's not my job. I'm not the cleaning lady, but I cleaned up a little bit, took some things out, cleaned up a little bit in the front yard where dead flowers and a very old doormat. So I was like, okay, all of that. I put it in a spot so it's not lost, but I took it away so it's out of sight. And honestly, I was thinking this morning with the joy. It brought me joy to do that. Yes, I spent money, and I will keep the items. So the doormat is mine and the flowers will be mine for my own garden. But I had joy in doing that and sharing with the client and saying, hey, you like your entrance better? And the client was happy. So that is all I wanted. So today is a meeting in the office. office and I committed to joy after having been a good girl, and I did some things. I have certain things that I'm sometimes getting behind on, like mail or so, and I got everything taken care of. And all my listings are good, all my buyers and sellers are in check, everything looks good. So I think today I can allow myself 3 hours of joy and an hour of driving in, driving out, and probably we get a free lunch there, and I meet some fun peeps in my office. So that's what I'm going to do, having some fun. It's still real estate fun, but that's what I love to do. So if you have any need regarding real estate, I'm here to help you or to just give you advice. Sometimes it doesn't end in business, and that's fine too. My number is 832-444-4923. Message me on Facebook, message me on YouTube, watch some videos, what I have to say about the current market. It's choppy. So you need an expert to guide you through, and you need an expert who's realistic. I'm not saying everything is easy peasy, but we have a tool belt full of a lot of tools, and we never know which one we are using during the transaction, which one we're gonna need. And sometimes I need to ask my broker. Like yesterday, there were 2 transactions and I needed my broker's support for that, and she had several things to say where I was like, oh my goodness, thank you, I didn't think of that, that's genius. And that's why she's our broker, because she's just next level genius. Okie dokie, you guys make it a wonderful day, be a blessing to others, and yeah, make it awesome and have some fun if you can help it. Okay, bye bye.